On the morning of June 10, 2025, fans around the world were supposed to witness a proud and emotional moment. RM, Kim Namjoon, and V, Kim Taehyung, of BTS officially completed their mandatory military service after 18 months. It was a long-awaited day, expected to be filled with gratitude, dignity, and celebration. Yet, within just hours, the moment turned into a media firestorm, not because of anything the artists did, but because of what happened around them. The chaos that unfolded, caused by overzealous fans and an alarming lack of control from HYBE, their management agency, quickly overshadowed what should have been a peaceful and respectful return. A new perspective, when fandom becomes a shadow over sacred moments. The BTS army, long praised for being a passionate, creative, and respectful fandom, showed an unfortunate side of itself that morning. Despite an official statement from HYBE asking fans not to gather at the military facility, hundreds of fans flooded the area regardless. Worse still, many of them pushed aside journalists, live-streamed the discharge ceremony, and screamed wildly as RM and V performed the solemn military rituals and gave brief interviews. What should have been a moment of reflection was instead drowned out by an uncontrollable wave of noise and disorder. It begs the question, has love for idols crossed the line into disregard for dignity and public decorum? HYBE, silent observer or unwilling enabler? HYBE did not escape public outrage. Korean netizens slammed the company for being passive and ineffective, allowing fans to overwhelm a military event that demanded solemnity and order. Given BTS's global fame and the predictability of fan enthusiasm, many questioned why HYBE did not implement stricter crowd control or enforce the rules they themselves had issued. The absence of meaningful action led to growing suspicion. Was HYBE secretly capitalizing on the buzz around the discharge for media traction? Or were they simply powerless in the face of their own fandom? Either way, their silence spoke volumes. Hit by stray bullets, the unfair burden artists bear. The phrase "caught in the crossfire" has been circulating widely online, and it perfectly describes what happened to RM and V. Neither of them acted inappropriately. They completed their service, participated respectfully in official procedures, and kept a composed demeanor throughout. Yet now, they are unfairly associated with chaos that they did not cause, collateral damage in a fandom-fueled media storm. This is a bitter irony in the modern idol era. Artists must now bear the weight not only of their own actions, but of those who idolize them. A cultural misstep? Military discharge in South Korea is more than a personal milestone, it's a symbolic ritual of national duty. The disruption of that ceremony was not just a PR mishap, it was a cultural misstep, a breakdown of mutual respect between society, fans, and the military. Some observers argue that fans alone shouldn't be blamed. The entertainment industry, especially companies like HYBE, have increasingly commercialized every possible milestone, from birthdays to enlistments and discharges. When everything becomes content, fans may lose sight of boundaries. The question must be asked, who is teaching fans to cross the line? And who benefits when they do? What's next? Will history repeat with Jimin, Jungkook, and Suga? The dust from this controversy has barely settled, yet the discharge of Jimin and Jungkook, on June 11, and Suga, on June 21, is fast approaching. If HYBE fails to learn from this incident and take firm action, and if fans do not take a hard look at their behavior, it's likely that we'll witness another chaotic scene, staining what should be a proud and peaceful occasion. Conclusion: when love becomes a burden. The story of RM and V's discharge is more than a trending topic, it's a mirror reflecting the complicated relationship between idols, fans, and the companies that manage them. In this triangle, love must be accompanied by responsibility, restraint, and respect. Without those, fandoms can unintentionally become the very force that overshadows their idols' brightest moments. What should have been a triumphant return was instead a stolen homecoming, taken not by enemies or scandal, but by those who claim to love the most. What should have been a moment of triumph and reflection for RM and V, two pillars of BTS, quickly unraveled into a nationwide controversy, exposing the fragile balance between idol culture, public decorum, and fan behavior. On the morning of June 10, 2025, RM, Kim Namjoon, and V, Kim Tae-hyung, officially completed their mandatory military service. In South Korea, this is a significant rite of passage, especially for public figures, and BTS fans, known as ARMY, had eagerly awaited their return. However, joy quickly gave way to frustration as the discharge ceremony spiraled into chaos, triggering backlash across Korean social media. A ceremony interrupted, fan behavior under fire. Despite HYBE's prior public plea for fans not to attend the military facility where RM and V would be discharged, a massive crowd of armies arrived anyway. What was meant to be a solemn, orderly event turned into a spectacle of noise and disruption. Some fans pushed past designated areas, blocked media personnel, and live-streamed aggressively, jostling for the best views of their idols. More troubling was the inappropriate fan behavior during the actual ceremony. RM and V, both in full uniform, were participating in official discharge procedures, moments typically marked by dignity and silence. Instead, they were met with loud cheers, screams, and chaotic shouts from fans. Many netizens expressed outrage, calling the behavior disrespectful to the military and the moment itself. HYBE's role questioned, complicit or careless? Adding fuel to the fire was the apparent inaction of HYBE staff. Despite previously requesting that fans refrain from attending, HYBE personnel were seen doing little to control the crowd. Critics online slammed the company for failing to manage the situation and accused it of being either negligent or opportunistic, leveraging the public attention while avoiding responsibility. Some suggested that HYBE had anticipated fan turnout but chose not to enforce any real barriers, thereby sacrificing military decorum for media buzz. This theory sparked heated debate about where the line should be drawn between managing public events and marketing strategies involving K-pop idols. Collateral damage, RM and V caught in the crossfire. Ironically, the two people at the center of it all, RM and V, did absolutely nothing wrong. They behaved professionally and respectfully, fulfilling their duties to the very end. And yet, they now find themselves embroiled in controversy, their image inadvertently tarnished by the actions of others. This situation illustrates a disturbing trend in modern K-pop. Idols are often held accountable for the behavior of their fans and the management choices of their companies. RM and V, instead of being celebrated for their service, became unwitting symbols of a broader problem within fan culture. Cultural reflection, when love turns overbearing. South Korean society takes military service seriously. It's not just a legal obligation but also a cultural contract, one rooted in respect, tradition, and national pride. The events surrounding RM and V's discharge disrupted that cultural expectation, prompting many Koreans to question whether the intense passion of fandoms has gone too far. The incident is now seen as a wake-up call, not just for HYBE or BTS fans, but for the entire entertainment industry. The delicate line between admiration and overreach has once again been crossed, and it is artists who end up paying the price.